What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, man, I'm back. You guys already know what time it is with this cat. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, man, I'm going to touch on, Jesus Christ, Mr. Renegade Media and the vice mayor, I believe, of Cudahy. You know what I mean? This just popped up in my feed. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't subscribe to people out there, certain individuals. Actually, I won't even get into that. Well, anyways, people, I am going to elaborate on that a little bit. I need to. I believe it's important. But first and foremost, man, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Share this channel. Let's get it up to 10,000 subscribers. And once I reach that 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives on a regular basis. We'll come up with a designated day. That way I could run them in. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to make it accommodate the majority of my audience. You know, I can't please everybody. We already know that. But anyways, people, a shout out real quick to my channel members, my followers, my subscribers, everybody that's been interacting with my channel, whether it be negative or positive comments. You're keeping me in the algorithm. Gracias, Tatsuklamati, Trollos, and I guess you could say some of the funny bunnies, but not them weirdos. You know what I'm saying? You guys know who I'm talking about. Well, anyways, man, once again, just a quick reminder for those of you that are just now tuning in to my channel. This is a fitness channel. It's a fitness channel with a twist. I will always start off discussing something about overall fitness, nutrition, or health in general. You know what I mean? A lot of times I'll give up, like, how should I say, put up information that I've done personally, that I've had experience with on, how should I say, let's see, because I got to be careful on the words that I choose, people, because I don't want people to say that, oh, I'm giving recommendations to do this. I recommend you do this. And this is to bring me to this fucking poo butt that came out of Mr. Blue Devil's camp, saying that I recommended a teenage. Man, you talking out the side of your fucking neck, dumbass. I don't recommend anything to anybody. I'm not a doctor. I'm an online fitness coach. I share what I've experienced. I've shared what I've put my body through and what's worked for me in my overall fitness journey. At the end of the day, I always emphasize, check with your doctor before anything. That is the person that you need to check in with. Me, I'm an online fitness coach. I help people change their lives. I help them with nutrition and getting results. Okay, as far as me suggesting people to take medicines and stuff like that, negative. Will I ever do that? Well, anyways, people, yeah, so there was one of my followers that asked me if I could touch a little bit about TRT. And like I said, that brings me to that poo butt from Blue Devil's channel. And you guys are probably curious, how do I know if it was Blue Devil? Because Blue Devil pops up on my feed every now and then, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, you know what I mean? He's doing his thing, and he's always going to be popping up. What can I do? You know what I mean? You know, I said my piece, and that was it. You know what I mean? It's some people just, man, always trying to twist shit up. Man, you know, it's crazy, this the YouTube guy, you know what I mean? I would prefer to do lives. I wish I could actually do lives where I could actually hop on the horn with certain individuals, kind of like what I do with my Zoom calls, my team members, you know. But it would probably get out of hand because there would be too many people speaking at one time. So, you know. But anyways, people, like I said, it's so much easier to hop on the horn with an individual. Like if you contest something that I put out here, you know, shoot me that DM, man. High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. I mean, if you're struggling with anything that has to do with fitness or nutrition, I got a plan for you. You know what I mean? I am a full-time online fitness coach. I have helped change people's lives. You could go check out my Instagram. My Instagram is high power fitness, high underscore power underscore fitness underscore. I have testimonials there. I have fucking workouts. I have nutritional diets that you could get started with and all that stuff. And yeah, you know what I mean? It validates who I am right there. I do have the blue check mark. Keep in mind, people, you could get a blue check mark, but you're going to have to show credentials authenticating that you are who you claim you are. Unless you got a connection for, profiles, you know what I'm saying? But that's here nor there. That's none of my motherfucking business, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, yeah, to the individual that wanted me to do a video, a short on TRT, it would be impossible, G, because there's so many, there's pros and cons about everything in life that you will do, you know what I mean? Especially when it involves medical conditioning, your overall health. Always seek medical advice from your primary doctor or whoever it is that you're dealing with, as long as he's, a licensed doctor, you know what I'm saying? Don't go to one of these jailhouse doctors, even though some of them jailhouse doctors are pretty good, you know what I mean? Especially them chiropractors, man. Back in the day, I remember going through there were certain individuals that they knew their stuff. But yeah, so as far as the TRT, I have nothing against TRT. If you're a person where your body doesn't produce that TRT, and if you're in need of it, you know what I mean, for different reasons, hey, so be it. I don't knock anybody for what they choose to do in life. At the end of the day, you got to make your bed and lay in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one here to bash anybody because they choose to get juiced up or do, just a lot of other stuff that I don't really like to put out here on social media, because at the end of the day, you guys already know, everybody watches social media. I'm telling you now, because of this social media and all you trollos and people like Renegade Media out here snitching, law enforcement has cut their employment down, their special task force down. They don't need to go around, man. They just sit right here and assign people to different genres of the YouTube. That's their new task force. They get paid just to watch this stuff. Okay, so now this is, like I said, is back to that TRT, man. There's going to be people that actually need it, and if you need it and if you want to acquire it, then you need to go see your doctor. At the end of the day, like I said, for myself, I eat healthy, I eat clean, I try to eat foods that support your testosterone. I like to do everything naturally. That's why I'm not big like these other cats, because I keep it simple, clean. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. A lot of people try to say that it's cheating by administering synthetic juices through their body, but at the end of the day, even if you're juicing, you still have to dial in that nutrition. You can't just be a pig about it. I'm going to give you an example. What happened with Cali Muscle? That fool was juicing. I remember when I got out the joint, this dude, Vince, man, that I worked with, I was doing day labor at fucking this place called Pfeiffer or something. I forget what it was. This guy was such a big fan of this dude. And as soon as I seen that cat, I knew he was a fucking fake and a fraud, because the way he boasted and talked and was running his meals in themselves and all that shit. And yes, I'm rambling on, huh? I do that. Just bear with me, people. Well, anyways, long story short on that, you know what I mean? I knew that fucking dude was juicing. He was being sloppy and all that shit. He was bigger than a motherfucker. But we all know brother's got good genes, man. You know what I mean? I don't know why that cat was even taking, why he was even juicing. It made no sense. But his poor diet and his exercising landed him in the hospital. You know what I mean? He went into, I guess he had a heart attack. Scared him straight, and then he went on a fruit diet. That fool looked ugly, motherfucker, boy. Hey, no disrespect or anything, but man, he looked like, terrible. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, people, like I said, man, this is a fitness channel, and I rambled on a whole bunch, so I'm going to have to cut it short. If you want to get started on your fitness journey and get results like I have, natural results, shoot me that DM, High Power Fitness. hi_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. I have a 3-month program that I would recommend that you sign up for. And once you run it in, if you decide to prolong it, to extend it, I will prorate the cost for you. You know what I mean? I will look at it as if you purchased the complete program and give you that discount. You know, that's just the way I get down. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for other coaches. I can only speak for myself on what I do for my team members, and every last team member knows, man. When you sign up with me, you get hidden perks that I never speak about. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to find out about them, you're just going to have to sign up and jump on the horn with me. You know, get you going, and trust and believe, you get more than what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? As far as the perks of my program, my dedication to all my team members, I'm always there for every last one of my team members, man. I don't ever consider them being a bug, like they're bothering, like, hey, go figure this out. No, that's what you hire me for. You know what I mean? So I'm always here. Well, anyways, people, with that being said, man, I'm gonna move on to fucking this what was she, senior mayor or something like that of Cudahy. I believe that's where she was from. And I only seen this because fucking Renegade Media, you know, he's doing his thing and he pops up everywhere. And I was just curious about this lady ranting and raving about calling people out from a neighborhood. I'm not even going to say the neighborhoods. If you're familiar with Cudahy, you know which neighborhoods are over there. Calling them out to come in to rally. I don't know if you paid attention. Well, you know what? I'm going to look at it this way. This lady, if she's somebody in office over there, she may have a hidden agenda. That may be her way of cleaning up the neighborhood. You feel me? Because if you have any type of background from what she's talking about, there's certain things that some of us they made attempts to charge us with, because it supports, how should I say, terrorist acts. Okay, so now you got to be open-minded about this. Okay, she's calling out neighborhoods to come support the rallies, this and that. Those aren't peaceful rallies that they're doing out there. What they're doing behind them walls is a peaceful, you know, what they're fighting for. You know what I mean? It's for a cause, and they're doing it peacefully. They're not promoting any type of violence or anything. Now, the way this lady, because I heard a short clip of the way she asked and all that, calling them out, it makes me wonder, fuck, man, they just hire anybody into office. You know what I mean? It's crazy. The way her tactic is, it could also mean it this way too. Like a fucking a kid from junior high school calling out somebody. Oh, you're tough. I know you can do it. Come on, let's see. Boy, you think you're bad? Let's see you jump this. Let's see you jump off that bridge, or let's see you jump off that roof. What the fuck kind of strategy was that? You know what I'm saying? It blew my mind. You know what I mean? This lady was so unprofessional, and now she's being I don't know if they apprehended her, but she's being questioned by the feds, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the past, you got to be very careful. When you throw a rock in a glass house, you better expect to break something. Something's going to break, okay? By her, the way she spoke out, she was like trying to rally up. I'm going to just speak freely here. The way I received it, she's trying to rally up individuals to do her dirt. She's inciting pretty much what they would call behind them walls, inciting a riot. Okay, it's kind of like when I got kicked out of Supermax. They say I incited the riot. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you an example real quick, man, because this is a very touchy subject. I'm all for my gente, you know what I mean? For my gente getting this stuff straight, because, you know, obviously it was put out there. The administration put it out there to be run, the ICE and all that, and shit is being done so fucking foul. You know what I'm saying? There's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way, you know. But as her move, what she tried to do, was fucking grimy. And this is to bring you to where I'm at, okay? I was in Delano. I'm not gonna say which Delano, but yes, it was mainline. It was general population yard. No, 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 no. My bad. It was at a reception, the reception of Delano. Well, anyways, long story short, we all know we can't risk having J-Cats walk around the yard because they could set off something that will set something big off. So they need to be escorted out of there. Let's just put it that way. Okay, well, I'm going to fast forward this again. An individual landed where we were in the, I'm not going to say which yard or anything like that, because if you were there with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A certain individual landed there. He was of another race, and he posed a threat. He sat there for a little bit more longer than what he should have, right? So, to make a long story short on this, the race that he came from, they obviously came to us and gave us the green light to remove him. Okay, for one, if it posed a threat and no one ain't taking action, we're going to do what we need to do. And after the dust is settled, then we figure it out. But in this incident, this guy just came blatantly forward and said, giving us a green light to go ahead and smash on this fool to get him removed. Okay, obviously, we're not going to listen to this cat. He has an ulterior motive. And his excuse was that individual grew up in a certain area and he disrespected one of our homies. Now, the homie that he supposedly disrespected was a resident. Okay? But these people must have did their work on it, and what they were trying to do, they wanted us to clean up their dirt. Okay, so they use that as an excuse, giving us the green light, because they know by us taking action, we're going to lose people behind this. You know what I mean? Because for those of you that know, when we wiggle, we wiggle. You know, there's no just stopping. It's going to be taken care of. So I'm bringing this to the example that this lady from Cudahy, that's what I believe she's trying to do. She's trying to get the homies pumped up to do her dirt. Or she could be using it a different tactic about it and trying to get the homies gaffled up, because we already know what happens when we get gaffled up. Anybody that's affiliated with supposed organizations out there in neighborhoods, you know, we get the books thrown at us. You gonna be sending the homies packages, lady? Probably not. But anyways, man, that's here nor there. You know what I mean? I'm being a little comical about this, and you know, at the end of the day, the homies are gonna do what they feel needs to be done. But I guarantee, ain't nobody's gonna put themselves in I wouldn't even call it in harm's way, but are gonna jeopardize their freedom, because you got a few other people that all of a sudden they want to start stirring shit up. And who are they going to come gaffle up? They're going to gaffle up the homies. They ain't going to gaffle up the civilians. That's their perfect opportunity to snatch up homies. You know what I mean? But anyways, with that individual from the joint that I was at in Delano, he tried to utilize us to remove his problem. He wanted us to do his dirty work. You know, obviously, it was a good thing that there were individuals there that were seasoned, and we saw a note to this. You know what I mean? It raised flags. So basically, we told that dude, fuck that. That's you. You guys got to take care of that shit. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't handled, then, you know, could have escalated. So they ended up handling it. They did what they had to do. And, you know, the reason why they tried to set us up is because one of their homies that was in charge right there happened to know an individual. They lived in the same city, and they used that individual as disrespecting our people. And so to keep them strong, because they were already limited on, you know, their ramfla, their car, they wanted to try to okie doke us. Kind of like the same thing what this lady's doing. And fucking Renegade media, man, nothing surprises me with that fucking poo. But my God, if you feel a certain type of way wherever you come from, my boy, hey, come down here and show your support. You know, I support my raza 100%, man. But I'm not going to put myself in in harm's way, not even in harm's way, but at risk of losing my freedom. Because take a look at me, man. Come on now. Who do you think the authorities are gonna come after if something jumps off? I'm just keeping it real and 100. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's a right way to protest and a wrong way. You know what I mean? You're gonna get more fucking action by protesting the correct way. Don't start fucking terrorizing the neighborhood, burning cars, and doing what you guys are doing to ICE. You got to keep in mind them guys are just doing their job. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't agree with a lot of shit that they're doing, but hey, at the end of the day, once the dust settles, man, hey, I'm sure our people will come out. You know what I mean? And figure it out, because we always do. Now, with that being said, people, I'm going to bring this video to an end because I fucking rambled on all over the place today, didn't I? If you want to get started on that fitness journey, become that 10.5, shoot me that DM, man. High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Once again, thumbs up, thumbs down. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this channel. Let's get it to 10,000. That way I can start doing lives on a regular basis. And no, I haven't forgot, people. You guys will be getting a surprise live shortly. Just keep it. Watch out, baby. You already know how this OG rolls. Now get up and get yours. Let's do this.